Hello, hello, potential Gogokid teachers. It's Teacher Jenny coming to you today to answer a bunch of questions that I have received from you. Mostly from potential teachers, some of them from new teachers, but I thought I would do a video that just compiles them all together so there's no rhyme or reason behind the different questions. There's no order to them. As they came through in the past week or so, I decided to start making a list in my phone of the questions that I frequently get, so that I can put them out to you, and sometimes it'll answer a question you didn't even know you had until you hear somebody else ask it. So here we go. Let's go ahead without further ado. Do you like my big sweatshirt? I believe I found this in the men's section of Salvation Army with the tags on it, and it's an extra, extra large. It doesn't look like an extra, extra men's large, does it? I mean, really, it almost fits me. I think it was in the men's section. Maybe it was women's extra, extra large. I don't know. But it's the most comfy sweatshirt that I own. I absolutely love this fleece little coverall. And, I've mentioned in videos before that when I teach at VIPKID, I tend to want to wear orange because it's sort of being a team player, being that that's their colors. Gogokid doesn't have assigned colors right now. And even at VIPKID, I have a whole video on it that you do not need to wear orange when you go, but I just sort of like to, since I don't have anything VIPKID in my background, I like to sort of be a team player. And now, today, I only had 2 of my 8 classes were VIPKID, but it's so big and comfy and I can throw it over anything. So I am wearing black pajama bottoms with bright pink dots on them. And I had a black t-shirt on with writing. So I didn't want to teach. I don't like to really teach in a t-shirt ever, but certainly not one with writing on it. So I threw on this nice comfy sweater. And that is the beauty of doing the ESL online teaching, is that you can at any point just roll on over to your classroom from wherever you are, roll out of bed, just finish eating and open up your camera and start teaching, whatever you want to do. It's just quick and it's easy, and it doesn't require changing clothes, and it doesn't require driving anywhere. Right in your home. It's sort of a sweet job in that way. All right, some things are priceless when it comes to salary and payment and everything in life. You know, time is worth money. When I was driving another job where it was an hour both ways, you know, that's 10 hours in my week that I was spending in my car just driving back and forth, plus the wear and tear on the car and the gas and everything else. So anyway, think about that when you're thinking about, is it worth it for me to do this part-time job online? There are some definite benefits to it. Okay, so here we go. Let's start with the questions. Question number 1 that I get very, very frequently is there still a $300 bonus? Yes, there is. There is a $300 bonus. It is not just sign up to be a Gogokid teacher and get $300. However, you do have to teach 3 classes. There's some rules and regulations involved in it, and I have a separate video on that, so I'm not going to take up time here. I want to get through the questions and try to keep this video under 20 minutes if I can. I know I talk a lot. So watch the other video if you want all the information on how to earn that $300 bonus, but basically I recommend everybody sign up to be a Gogokid teacher now while they're still doing that $300 bonus. I don't know why it's still there. I just think it's wonderful that it is, though. We refer to it as a sign-on bonus as teachers ourselves, but it's really the improper terminology. I say sign-on bonus too, because you get it by earning it within your first 30 days. So it's kind of like when you first sign on, but there are requirements. It's not just an instant sign at the dotted line and get $300. But basically you really only have to teach 3 classes. And so that's like getting $100 a class. And I tell everybody, hey, try it out. Teach 3 classes, get your $300. What can you do with an extra $300, right? And I say that because I don't have any teachers who signed up and taught their 3 classes and then cut and ran, because you fall in love with it. You fall in love with the kids and you realize how easy of a job it is and what easy money this is. And it's going to become part of your life. But it doesn't have to be. You can just do it for that first month and teach those 3 classes and get your money and it's really worth it. So watch that video that I have posted for all the details about that. I'm not going to say any more about that because I basically just answered the question. Yes, the $300 sign-on bonus still exists. Okay. A common question I get from new teachers who just signed on is, does your trial class, or does any trial class, if you taught a trial class, count towards a $300 sign-on bonus? And the answer is yes. For some reason, the misconception is out there that you actually have to teach a class that the kid paid for in the program and it's part of their curriculum. It doesn't have to be. It can be one of the trial classes. A trial class is still a 25-minute period of time that you're sitting in there and teaching a student. What is a trial class for those of you who are new? It's the classes that are free for the parents. So all the parents can choose to take one free class. And they're a set trial curriculum based on the level of the kid. There's certain trial classes. The same trial classes are going to be the same for all the kids depending on what level they're at. They don't just randomly pick a class out of the curriculum. They have a trial class that you would teach. But it's just like teaching any other class. You get the PowerPoints in advance. You look over what you're going to teach. You teach it to the kid. At the end, you give feedback to the parent, and that counts as one of your 3 classes that you need for that $300 sign-on bonus. So, how do I get IT help if I'm teaching in the classroom? Okay, and they specifically said firemen because the IT people at VIPKID are called firemen. So sometimes you'll see on Facebook groups and that people referring to firemen, and it's IT support and help that helps you while you're in the classroom. At Gogokid, it depends on if you're in the new classroom or the old classroom as to how you would contact IT support if something were to be going wrong in the class. If the student's camera is not working or their sound isn't working, or something's going wrong and you need to contact somebody at Gogokid. All right, if you're in the old platform does not have an actual button in it to contact the firemen. So there's a chat box where you can chat back and forth by writing to the student. And if you write in that, the IT people over at Gogokid are monitoring those chat boxes throughout the course of the class. So what I do is I write in all caps, Gogokid IT : and then whatever the situation is, still in all caps, because it just is a way to kind of draw their attention to, help me, something is not right. So that's how you contact them in the old platform. Now we have a new interactive platform, and this is for all our kindergarten level kids, whether it's kindergarten level 1 or kindergarten level 2. The bulk of the kids that are at Gogokid are at the kindergarten level of learning. That doesn't mean they're kindergartners, but they're at the kindergarten level of learning. And all of those classes are interactive. And those are on a whole different platform, a different interactive platform that lets you pull up a whiteboard at any point if you want to write words and then make it go away. There's just cool things you can do in the interactive classroom. So if you're teaching a kindergarten level class, in that interactive platform, there is a button there that you can click on for IT support. And it'll have a pop-up menu for you to choose. Behavioral problems. There's a list of like 8 different choices. And then of course there's other as well. And then you just hit and it says thank you, or we'll get in touch with you quickly. And then the IT people will be corresponding with you through that chat box at that point. Okay? All right. So that's how you contact and get support from IT people. Okay. If a class is canceled within 24 hours, do I get paid? I get this question all the time from new teachers. So clearly I'm not doing a really great job of educating my teachers at the beginning about 24-hour cancellations, and that's my bad. I'm sorry. If you have a student who booked your class and it's within 24 hours and they cancel that class, you are going to get paid for that class. You'll get paid different depending on if it's a kid who signed up with the program and it's one of the core classes, or if this is one of the free trials that the parents didn't pay for. If it's a free trial and it's canceled within 24 hours, Gogokid is still going to pay you even though they haven't received any money from the parents. They're going to pay you 60% of what you would normally get for teaching a class during that time, just for saying that you would be available and then them canceling on you. But if it's canceled within 24 hours, you do not need to log in or do anything. Go do something else for that half-hour period of time, and you're going to get paid 60% of your salary. Now, if it is a student who signed up with the Gogokid program, and it's any one of the core classes, you're going to get 100% pay if that kid cancels within 24 hours. If things don't get rebooked into that time slot, there's a little caveat. It says somewhere in policies and procedures or that if it's a trial class, that Gogokid has the right to rebook it with another trial within a 10-minute period of time. So that's the only heads up I would say for people, is that if it was a trial class and it got canceled, go grab something to drink and come back 10 minutes later and check to see if there is something else booked in there. And if there isn't, then it's going to stay and remain as a canceled class, and you will not be teaching during that period of time. Okay? All right, so that is how it's handled. It depends on trial or core class as to how much you get, but yes, you definitely get paid for classes that are canceled within 24 hours. Outside of 24 hours, it just disappears off your schedule and the box becomes open for another parent to book it. You don't get paid for anything if they canceled outside of 24 hours. All right, why can't I see my payment breakdown? Okay, this is a question that many new teachers have, and if you're just going to sign up with Gogokid, you might be questioning the same thing. A little back story is that the teachers who signed up with Gogokid when it started in June all the way up to August 1st have a different contract than the teachers who started on August 1st. There are pluses and minuses to both. When the new contract started in August, a lot of teachers jumped and signed on to the new contract because we had the option, being under the old contract, of choosing to be under the new contract. I'm not going to explain all the differences between them, but just know there are two separate contracts that are happening right now side by side. Many teachers under the old contract said, I like the old contract better, I'm going to stay with it. After 6 months expires, all of the old contracts will have to be converted to new contracts. All right, now during this period of time, up until about March, Gogokid has two different contracts, two different pay scales, two different payment systems and reward systems. There's just a lot of differences between them, and payment is one of them. So because of that, they couldn't run simultaneously both payment contracts within the portal. So they took it down completely, and they now have it set up for the new contract, but it's not open and live yet until everybody is on that same contract. So the payment portal doesn't say anything. What happens is you'll get paid on the 15th of the month for the previous month. So this is December right now. On December 15th, we will get paid for the work we did in November. Frequently, it's a few days before the 15th that it even comes in, but you'll get paid at least by the 15th of the month. And then usually within about a week or so after that, you'll get an email from Gogokid telling you or giving you the breakdown of how they came upon that dollar amount. So you still get the payment breakdown, but it's not listed in your portal and it's not updated on a daily basis, that type of thing, which would be nice. And it's something that we had with Gogokid until they switched over and started new contracts. Okay, so a lot of information to basically say why it's not there, but the encouraging thing is I would think that March is the first month that everybody's going to be on the new contract. So after March, maybe even February, I don't know. But I would say come March, we can expect our payment portal to be back up again, and we'll be able to in real time see money coming in. If you converted a student, you get an extra $10. There's different ways that money comes in. If you referred somebody and then there's some money from them, how it all breaks down. Okay. How many classes do I have to teach in a month? This goes to old contract, new contract again. However, if you're on the old contract, you already know all this, so you probably don't even need the answer. But if you're on the old contract, you have to teach at least one class every week, or you're going to get 5 points, I think it is, deducted from your credit score. Anyone who signed up starting August 1st and on, you don't have any requirements for what you have to teach in a given month. Isn't that great? Now, when you first start off, you're going to want to be working a lot anyway because you want your credit score to go from 100 up to 120. There's a whole separate video on credit score. I'm not going to explain all that right now, but it behooves you to work a lot at the beginning, or to at least try to open up as much as you can. Also, there's a $300 bonus you're trying to earn, so you want to open up a lot of class opportunities to try to earn that as well. So it is in your best interest to teach as much as you can in that first month or two that you're with Gogokid. But after that, if you want to take a vacation, there's no penalty. There's no payment penalty or anything like that. You work when you want to work. It's kind of cool. Kind of cool. All right. Do you have to have set work hours? No. Mm-mm. And that goes along with the you work when you want to work kind of thing. There are some online ESL companies out there that give you scheduled hours as if you had a regular job, that you work on Tuesdays from 6 in the morning until 9 in the morning. And that's your set time that you always work. Not that way with Gogokid. And that is why I work for Gogokid and VIPKID. I love the flexibility to be able to say on a given day, I can't work on this day and I don't want to get penalized because of it. But there's just many organizations and clubs and different things that I do throughout the week. And sometimes they're once a month on a given day. So I want to be able to just not open classes that day and not feel stressed about it or feel like I'm getting penalized for doing so. Okay. I hope I'm speaking loud enough that you can hear this. I hope I don't have to re-record this. All right. Do you get the same kids all the time? You're not assigned them. I know some of the companies that you have set hours will assign you set kids to those hours as well. And it doesn't work like that at Gogokid. If you're familiar with VIPKID, Gogokid is the same. If you're not familiar with VIPKID, basically how it works is you open up a time slot. Every half hour there's another time slot that you can open. You choose the ones that you want to work, open up those slots, and the parents look at the schedules and they choose and pick the time slots that they want. So you kind of open up what you want. At any point, if something's not booked, you can close it back out again. But because of that, because the parents choose, they can move around to different teachers if they want to. By and large, in my experience, the parents tend to want to come back. They like the rapport that you establish with the kids. They find a teaching style that matches well with their students' learning style. Some teachers are very strict on articulation and pronunciation. Other ones aren't. If the parents are not looking for that, they just are more interested in the vocabulary and the language development, they are not going to stick with the teacher who tends to be more aggressive on correcting the pronunciation and their speech. There's other parents who that is what they want. They want their kid to sound like a native English speaker. And so they want you to correct all the nuances of that. So that tends to be the kids that come to me because I'm a speech language pathologist. Pronunciation and articulation, that's my mojo. That's what I know. That's what my master's degree is in. So I can't not correct their speech when they are misarticulating. It's just in my blood. It's in my nature. It's what I've done for 20 years. So those are the parents that tend to book me because that's what they want for their kids. Okay. Is there still peak time subsidy? Only if you're on the old contract. So those who chose not to go to the new contract, who were hired between June and August 1st, if they're still functioning under the old contract, they are open to receiving peak time subsidy. And I'm not going to explain what all that is because it doesn't exist anymore. So, and if you're a teacher who's been hired between June and August 1st, you're not watching this video right now anyway. You don't need to know any new information. You know what's going on. So I'm not even going to mention peak time subsidy. If you happen to see a video that mentions it in there on my channel, let me know. I did my best to go through them. I mean, there's hours of videos, but I tried to delete every video that was about peak time subsidy, and I tried to edit the videos that had peak time subsidy mentioned within them. So sometimes some of the videos might suddenly jump and it seems like, boy, that was a rough cut. And it's because I had to cut out an entire section on peak time subsidy because it doesn't apply anymore. Okay. Our class is interactive on the screens. This goes back to new classroom, old classroom. So yes and no is the answer. If you are teaching on the old platform, that means the classes you are teaching are level 1 and above. And those classes are the stagnant screen. So it's a regular PowerPoint screen. You can circle and write and draw lines and do all that on the screen. But the screen itself does not pop up or sing songs or move in any way. It's not an interactive screen. It is just a plain PowerPoint screen. If you are teaching any of the kindergarten curriculum, whether it's kindergarten 1 or kindergarten 2, all of those classes are interactive classes, and they are on the interactive platform. So it's a different platform that they're using for the interactive classes. The platform lets you do lots of different things, including contacting the IT with a IT button. But there's a whiteboard you can bring out at any point and write on and make it go away. I mean, it's just really cool things that you can do on the interactive platform. And the interactive kindergarten classes are very interactive. They're a lot more visually stimulating than some of the other programs that are out there. There's like videos that move and the kids do different things, and you'll click on apple and the apple goes in an oven and it comes out as a pie, and it's just really cool. It's not just interactive where you just click and drag things, although there is clicking and dragging that is involved in it as well. But they can click on different things and hear sounds and have things pop up and have music and video and things happen like that. So all of the kindergarten curriculum, which is the bulk of the students at Gogokid, because they're all going to start off with a new English learning program. There's not a whole lot of kids that already know English. I shouldn't say there's not a whole lot, but there's not nearly as many kids that already know English that are joining Gogokid. There's a lot of the new kids that are starting to learn English. So the bulk of the kids in our program are kindergarten level learning, not necessarily all kindergarten age, but they're learning at a kindergarten level. And so the bulk of the classes you'll be teaching will be on the interactive platform. All right, next question. Is WeChat allowed? No. If you're familiar with any of the other ESL companies, you may personally choose to open up a WeChat app where it's a way to correspond back and forth. It's sort of like messaging back and forth to China. It's one of the few social media platforms that they allow, and we can communicate with parents outside of the classroom, whether it be about their student or that they're going on vacation or they had a concern about something or they had a question about scheduling and wanting to know why you're not working on Fridays anymore or something along that line. So this is not permitted at Gogokid. It's in the bylaws and the guidelines, and I read that absolutely no social media is permitted to communicate with the parents outside of the Gogokid platform. So no WeChat for Gogokid. Are there training workshops? Yes, there are now wonderful training workshops by very qualified and fantastic teachers, and those are all on Freshdesk. Freshdesk is a separate platform. It's a separate web page that you can go to besides your online portal that has like your classes and what you've taught and parent scores and all that kind of stuff. There's an informational website called Freshdesk for Gogokid that is just full of information. And it's just a great way. They sign you up with a Freshdesk account right away, even before you can start classes, which is great because you can just start reading through everything in there. You can read old information that they sent out, like old newsletters that Gogokid sent out. You can read about IT requirements. You can read about what to do if you have an IT problem. You can see the PowerPoints to all the different classes in there. It's full of information. And in that Freshdesk platform, it'll say upcoming workshops. And they are live workshops scheduled at a certain day and time, and you just click on the link and go in and start watching the class. So it's not like VIPKID where it's limited to only so many, so it's kind of first come, first serve. And I think that's basically because VIPKID has like 50,000 teachers that are teaching at their program. And last I heard, Gogokid had 2,000. So I'm sure it's much more than that right now. That's the last I heard. But, you can probably count on one hand how many thousands of kids there are at Gogokid versus how many thousands there are at VIPKID. So because of that, basically everybody can get on and watch any of the workshops they want. The workshops are also taught multiple times. They're taught like 6 times. So it'll be offered in the morning, it'll be offered in the evening, it'll be offered on a weekend. There's lots of different times that they try to offer the same workshop to give you an opportunity to be online and watch it at a time that's convenient for you. All right. The last question that I have, and I probably should have looked this up ahead of time, so I apologize. I'm going to do this off the top of my head. How many points are deducted for cancellation. If you are a teacher no-show, you are going to have a 5-point deduction from your credit score. Credit scores, again, another video. Watch all the information on credit scores on the other video, but you're going to lose 5 points from your credit score for not showing up to class. Don't do that. If you find that you need to cancel a class, let's say your son has broken a bracket on his braces and you need to get into the orthodontist, and the only time they can do it is the next day or two at a certain time, and you're going to have to cancel that class. If it's more than 24 hours out from the actual scheduled class and you cancel it, you will lose 1 point from your credit score. If it's within a 24-hour period of time, you're going to lose 2 points from your credit score for canceling that class. And if it's within a 2-hour period of time of that class happening, you're going to lose 3 points from your credit score. There's no financial penalty except that your credit score goes down, so you may be earning less money for your classes until you build your credit score back up. There's not like if there's a teacher no-show at the Orange Company, you get charged $10 for that. So you don't get paid for the class and you get a $10 penalty. And you have a teacher no-show on your record, and you can only have so many of those before you don't get your contract renewed. It's a little more lenient over at Gogokid. You get a ding on your credit score, which means you're going to get a ding on how much you're going to earn per class until you build that back up again. Much nicer, much nicer. Okay, those are all the questions that I have written down that over in the past week or two have been coming up a lot. So I am sure in the next month or so there will be a Gogokid question and answer part 2. Good luck out there with your teaching. If there are questions I didn't answer for you, write them down below and I'll add them to my list of what my next video is going to be on question and answers. And if you haven't signed up to be a Gogokid teacher yet, please use my referral link down below. I appreciate you if you do, and I'll be there to support you along the way, answering questions via email and sending you information on how to successfully complete each stage of the process. Happy teaching out there. I hope this answers all your questions. Bye. Have a great day.